Hi Luke, welcome to Lokrum.
Hey Sandi.
And welcome everyone to the 30th episode of the Pear Tree podcast.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. 30 episodes, I feel like we should have done something special. That's a milestone.
Well, this is quite special, having ice creams in the park.
Yeah, I did get you an ice cream.
Yeah, that's nice. It's like a windy day today.
It's very windy. Got my long sleeves on.
You've got your summer solstice crown on.
Yeah. Celebrating last week and hopefully looking forward to a long, nice summer.
I love this variation of ice creams that you've got out for us.
Yeah, I've usually got, I don't know what one I've never used that one before. Do you know what it was? It's in Plucky, my new neighbour's house. It's in her house. She's got that.
Oh.
So I thought I would try that out. Yeah.
What's the inside of her house like?
Well, you've had a wee look at her outside of her house because I just recently done her garden, and she's I've tried to recreate like a farm because her house is quite rustic looking on the outside. However, on the inside it is like a beach and it's got a stall, it's got all the surfboards. She's got
that's unexpected.
Ice cream and the wee the ice shaver machine as well. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that because I had like done her garden, I think, when she was still in boxes, but I did notice the sand and that, and I was thinking, oh, that's weird. And then the full surfboard collection and the ice creams appeared after I'd done her house. But she's near the beach, so.
I met her on the way in today and she was wearing like a really kind of summery outfit. So I guess that matches her house, but that's not the theme I would have expected.
No, I think obviously she thinks she wears the bold muumuu, which obviously is a tropical dress, but I thought I just pictured her being a wee bit more rustic, just being outside her house and being a hen.
She's so great. We were both admiring her face when I arrived.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what she does all the time? Zoomies, and she's the best zoomie. I might just be imagining this, but she's got wings, obviously, so she looks amazing when she's zooming.
Brilliant.
But I feel like she goes faster than, I don't know if it's the wings that are doing it. It might just be I'm probably I'd imagine it, but she's got great zoomies.
Now I can't wait to see them. Hopefully you can catch them on a video.
Yeah, I've already caught some, and then I will have been stalking them as much as I can. Her and Stitches, they're my zoomies, and Black Barreled, obviously.
Oh, that's great. Apple's my main zoomer at the moment, but she's making up for everyone. She just zooms all day long. It's great. I like it when you're chatting to someone and then you just like catch them out of the corner of your eye, like running across the top of the screen. I caught a really weird conversation like out of the corner of my eye this week. Phoebe has to leave this week.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't worry. I found her a good home. But while she was telling me, Shari and Cherry were having like this big argument in the front of the frame. So they just wandered into the shop when I was already chatting to Phoebe. And they just started having this big argument and both went off steaming.
Did you go and speak to them?
I did. They made up after. Now, when you took me on a quick little tour of your island when I arrived, and you've done so much this week. It's been a role reversal. Yeah. Last week,
I have.
I'd done all the decorating, and this week I've done nothing at all. I've hardly played, but your island looks amazing. I can't believe all the stuff that you've done.
I know, you had put me to shame last week when I had came to visit. You had done so much, and I had all these big plans, and it didn't plan out the way I wanted to at that time, but I've went off full steam ahead and I've actually done more than I had planned to.
Well, it looks amazing.
Just need to tackle my house now.
Do you want to talk us through some of the changes you've made?
Yeah, so I think the last time you were here I had just moved Nooks and Abel's, and I think I still had all my villagers on the beach from the top part of my island, but now I've all put them back in place and made a more natural looking neighbourhood. It's not in like in that 4-block. I put a lot more trees down, and then I ended up redoing the other residential area because that was just out of place, because that was so rigid, like the 4 in the block again. So I've expanded that as well.
So I love how you've got all the villager houses in amongst the trees, but they've still got their own really distinct gardens and their own personal space. It's really nice.
I think some more than others. I think Tabby and Coco, they've got quite big spaces and they've got quite their own like little private areas, I feel. And although Blaire, I think she's got the biggest house, the biggest garden at the minute, because I've incorporated the flower beds of my hybrids into her garden. So she's got like a little flower shop and nursery.
Oh, that's just perfect for her.
It is, because her house is lovely. It's got all these. I'm saying it was lovely. She's got a lot of the flower items in there. But I was doing up the gardens and I had picked up some of barrel stuff. He had a brake trapper outside his garden, and Blaire, I've not got her photo still, she had asked to buy it off me, and I just said yes.
Oh no.
So she's got that stuck in her house. And then Tabby, just before you came actually, Tabby had said, like ran up to me, shouted on me, saying, "Can you take this to Blaire?" And I've took it to her, and it's this blue Zap suit. So she's got that displayed now as well.
Oh.
And it wasn't even the one with the skirt. I think would probably look a wee bit cuter, but it was the one with the trousers. So it's just, I don't know why I do it.
Blaire's house was so like refined, and you always used to compliment how much you liked it as well. I can understand why you can't say no to them.
I know. I do like her house. Hers is probably one of my favourites as well, because it is so, I get all the flowers on it. And then I've just basically dedicated like half that residential area to her garden with the flowers.
Oh, that's lovely what you've done outside her house. And that's the bit that you're going to see the most, and that's the bit that is going to make you think of her the most, so it's fine. Don't worry about the brake tapper and the Zap suit.
Aye.
I love what you've done with Abel's and Nooks. You've carried on the kind of water theme that you've got going on. And you've done so well around the resident services, and that little bridge that you've got between the two. It's just perfect. I really like it. Yeah,
it's been quite challenging trying to do that, but I had this vision and that's what I wanted it, and I've got as close to as possible. Because sometimes the bridges and things are just awkward, and it's really takes a lot of trial and error to get to place things.
I think it's a really nice compromise to make the bridge from just terraforming a bit of land and using custom patterns on it, though. It works really nicely in some places. It works really well in between those two. I thought what you've done is just amazing. It looks so good.
Yeah, I think I said last week I had kind of hit a wall with the moving houses, but I think once I had got over that and then I was like able to start decorating, that was just that pushed me on, because I do like enjoy getting the little touches in.
Definitely shows you've got a gift for those little touches. I love the Karopi lanterns that you've got just outside resident services with some of the seasonal bushes. It's a great touch.
Yeah, I think I had the paper lanterns and you'd commented on them. Not that they looked bad, but then it just got me thinking, what else could I put there? And I had them on already in stock, in my storage. Could basically run a shop from my storage.
I got the dreaded storage full message this week.
Oh, you too? Oh, it's the worst.
Oh no, I was gutted. But I spent like an hour just ferrying things back and forwards to Nooks and selling them. I still had all my winter clothes in my storage, so I think I managed to sell about 300 or 400 items before I got bored.
Oh, wow.
And I've already put like another 100 things in there somehow. That'll buy me a few more weeks at least.
What about your decorating? Where did you get to?
Yeah, I didn't play much this week, but I did manage to get a few hours in today. Yeah, I did some good decorating. I tidied up the library, the outdoor library, a little bit, and I think that looks quite nice. I moved Nooks today as well, so that'll be done tomorrow. Now they're right next to the plaza now. I got a bit stuck with how to get the river coming down from the higher cliffs at the back, so I decided to just make that end in a pond. So there's basically like a small pond in between Nooks next to the plaza and Abel's, which is like just back a little bit on the left.
All right.
So that half of the island is pretty much finished, apart from doing a little bit of decoration. But like we said last week, that's the bit that I kind of get stuck on. So I might invite you over one day if you've got time to come and make a few suggestions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, not at all.
And then I think I've mostly finished off the botanical gardens. So right at the back, high on the highest cliff now, you've got the museum, and in front of that there's a little bench and some nice flowers that are fenced off. And I've kind of continued that coming down the 2 levels to behind resident services. So I've just put some benches and some street lamps, some little fenced off flower arrangements. There's a big Valiant statue on display, and I hope to put a few more statues up there, I think. But that area looks quite nice. Again, it could do with maybe a little bit of fancying up, but for the most part, that's finished. So everything in the west is doing quite well. The east is basically just a barren wasteland of bridges over non-existent rivers and just like money trees, dumps there. Yeah. So that'll have to be the next thing.
That's good though. It'll be easier to decorate when it's like there's nothing there.
Yeah, I just need a little bit of inspiration. I've got some ideas, but I need a little bit of drive. I was going to ask your opinion, actually. Do you remember where I had the museum before? I used the spooky fencing.
Yeah.
Now, I've used that quite a lot in that bit, like all the way down the different levels, but do you see pumpkins when you see it?
No.
It's a tricky fence, because I think it's the most elegant one that you can build. Like, I really love the fences. They're one of my favourite things in the whole game. One of my favourite, like, series of DIYs, easily. But I think that spooky fence does something that none of the others really do. But I just don't know if it's a bit too much to have so much of it.
Have you got it on the 3 levels?
Not on the bottom level, but it's on the second and the third. I was trying it out on the bottom level this morning, and that's what made me start thinking, I don't know if this fence is a bit too much. That's why I thought I'd ask and see what you thought.
No, I quite liked it when you had it before with that. It was all right. I've not seen it for a while. But I don't think it looks like pumpkins. I think you can get away with it not being Halloween or spooky.
Yeah, I don't really see the pumpkins, I don't think. I don't know. Oh, that's good. It's good that you think that. I'm glad. Reassuring.
I think this is the first week in a while that I haven't got any new villagers to talk about.
Lucky that I've got a new one to talk about then.
Oh, who?
Well, I'm sure that I've talked about her countless times on this podcast before. And for ages, she's been my favourite villager that I don't have on my island. But as of tomorrow, I will officially have Ketchup living on Re Albi. And I'm very excited.
And she's such a interesting and cute character.
She's absolutely brilliant. Can't wait.
So did you use an amiibo to get her? Or did you meet her?
No. So Phoebe asked to leave, like I said earlier.
Oh, so you did.
And I was just really keen to get her a nice home because she's such a great villager. I really loved having her. And I thought that somebody would love her because she's so unique. She's got an amazing house. And I was right. Yeah, somebody was really happy to take her. And it was only the next day, today, that I was running around my island and then there was like an empty plot. And I thought, oh yeah, of course somebody is going to have to come and replace Phoebe. I hadn't even thought about it. So I bribed myself with doing a Nook Mile ticket in reward for doing some decoration that I'd been really putting off. So I did a little bit of decoration and took a Nook Mile ticket. Also, I really needed some resources, so it was good timing. But I only got a few islands through. I met Piper on the first one. I don't think I've ever met a Piper before.
Piper? What is she?
She looked really cool. She was a peppy bird, like a tall bird.
Oh, yeah.
She was really nice. Went back, did a little bit more decorating, went out again and met Nate. I think he's a lazy from what he was saying. I didn't look him up though, but he's a tall bear. With the most amazing. Yeah, he's got amazing green, like eyebrows. He like huge eyebrows. He was really cool. But I went back, did a bit more decorating, came back and saw Brafina. I don't know if you remember her being on my island way back, but I was not much of a fan of her last time. I think this was still back when I didn't really get on with Snooties that well.
Ah, right, okay.
But I wasn't too worried about getting her today. And then went back, did a bit more decorating, then came back and met Bud. And then I think I went off and had lunch or something. But when I came back and did the next one, there was Ketchup. And I was so surprised. At first, I just thought, I can't have Ketchup on my island because I've always kind of thought that she would be a permanent resident and that if I had her, I'd never want her to leave. So I didn't want to get her so soon. So I know it doesn't make any sense, but that didn't last for very long. And I just invited her to come and stay straight away.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have been able to leave her. Yeah, I think you'd have got to the dodo and you'd have been like, are you sure you don't want to leave anybody? And then you'd have been, change my mind and run back.
She's so adorable though. So I decorated her garden like straight away when I got back. I was so excited. I was really happy. I've given her a little red festival dance mat, like the one that you've got outside Tabby's house.
Yeah, put one out for side for her, yeah.
I've given her a kind of mix of red flowers and I've got a little space for a music player, but I couldn't decide what song to put on for her. She's not on any of the covers. I think she hasn't really been in the game that much. Yeah,
maybe not, but then maybe are you going to play the one that she has in her house? Or
yeah, I might do. I think it's Neapolitan she has in her house. But I'm going to wait and check that when she arrives and see. I was thinking if you're going to, you can give her a wee tomato plant as well if you wanted. Don't know if you did notice mine in Plucky's garden. Oh yeah, you used the little lanterns. I thought that was quite a really good idea. I'd never seen that before. Such an amazing idea. It wasn't my idea, I did copy it, but I hadn't seen it They're the trees bounty lanterns. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, so they're, if you customise them to like the red and the orange like bulbs things, it looks like wee tomato plants. I thought they were quite cool.
They look great. Yeah, really good. That would be a nice little thing to pop there. Oh, I just couldn't have been happier getting Ketchup. And it's her birthday in like a couple of days, so she'll just be settled in and ready for a party.
Oh, nice. I'll need to try and make that one. I just got a notice on my board that Blaire's birthday's coming up.
Oh, very nice.
I would say that was a lucky find after 5 Nook Mile tickets.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm very happy. So what have your villagers been up to this week? You must have seen them a lot while you've been pottering around.
I've been getting in the way as well, like, so annoying. It's nice seeing them interacting with stuff, but I was just trying to get things done. But I have had to time travel forward a couple of days just to get like the last houses moved in and the bridges done. I was having to demolish, like redo bridges into different designs, and so I was gifting them every day, and I got 4 photos this week, which I was quite pleased of because I felt like I hadn't had a photo for ages. But I got a second
Did you
photo.
finally get barreled?
Yes, I did. So I've got barreled.
Wow, congratulations.
I know. I'm kind of happy and then sad. And then I've got Audie's and Annalisa as well.
Oh, that's really quick for Annalisa. She's very new.
Yeah. So those 3 and Tabby's, but I've already got Tabby, so that was my second photo from Tabby.
Now, what are you going to do with the second one?
Sell it on Nookazon for 200 Nook Mile. No, I'm kidding on. I don't know if she would have a photo outside her house, so maybe I'll just have that one in my room, because, that's something else I've done this week is redo my room.
Oh, really? After a whole year, probably.
Yep, I have not touched my house for nearly enough a year. Apart from the main room, I was changing that seasonally, but I changed my bedroom, and I said I would never change my bedroom, like I was stuck with that. But I moved it upstairs. I've actually just gave it more room, just because there's like nice things that I like to collect, but there's just not any room for them. So, and also the picture situation was getting out of hand in my room. It was looking a bit creepy in my bedroom. So, not that this looks any less creepy. So I've got like the heavy curtained walls, like the red velvet curtains, and that's just like a full room of pictures now. It's nearly taking over the full walls.
So you've left behind your green theme that you had?
Oh no, it's upstairs. I've just just moved all my stuff upstairs into the top room. It's still the same theme, still the same furniture, it's just on a bigger scale.
Did you have the heavy curtain wall in your old room?
No, I've just changed my old room to that so that it's a backdrop to all my pictures. So I've basically got this like weird picture room in the back of my house.
Oh, so you haven't moved your pictures up with your bedroom then?
No.
Ah, okay. I'm surprised you didn't put the picture room upstairs, because that's got the more space.
No, I'm going to move it downstairs into my basement.
That's even more creepy.
That's even more creepy, I know. I'm going to put the cellar walls and the creepy walls. Yeah, I think because my storage is full, I can't just like demolish all my rooms. I've nowhere to put the furniture, so I need to kind of do it one by one. So I need my main room's going to be like a kitchen living area, and the downstairs, which is the kitchen living area, is going to be the picture room, and then my back room is going to be, I'm not sure, I think I'm going to have like an outside like flower garden or plant place. I had one in New Leaf, which I loved, but I just felt there was more plants in New Leaf than this game, so I'm going to try and recreate that as much as I can with some flower DIYs and plants and trees.
Oh, that sounds good. I thought you said that you'd sold a load of stuff from your storage.
Yeah, but that was only like 10 things to make space for like doing that one room, and I couldn't even.
Right.
It's been a task and a half. It probably would help if I take all 10 tools out my pocket, but it's not happening. Can't do it.
I just put a pipe in my house and then a pipe outside Nook's and just went back and forth like 10 times, emptying out all the stuff that I just would never wear.
I'm glad you reminded me of a pipe, because I need to order one, because I had so many pipes in my storage and I wasn't using any, and I thought I kept 2, but I sold all of them but 1, and I kept jumping into the one at Nook's and I'm like, why is this not taking me anymore?
Yeah, one's not very much use.
Yeah, I've not got any more, so I need to order one.
I think I've got 2 spare.
Or you can
I don't think
send
I'd
them when
ever
you get
use
back.
more. You can have one if you want. Oh, actually, no, I think I sold them. Sorry.
I'm such a hoarder, it's hard.
It sounds like it. I didn't want to accuse you, but yeah.
Oh, and it's like, if I've got so much crafted stuff in my... Do you know something that's totally... I don't need them all. It's the wands. I think I've crafted all the wands and I've got them all in my storage, thinking I'm going to just like need a different wand for different occasions, which is the case sometimes, but not. I don't need that many wands. I could probably get rid of some of them.
All the wands are really great, but the Kiki and Layla wand is just so much better than all the other ones. So even though you're right, sometimes you want a wand for a special occasion, almost every occasion I would want the Kiki and Layla wand.
Yeah, that's the one that I've got in my pocket just now, and I think
Yeah, same here.
it's usually at Halloween or maybe like Easter or Christmas, obviously, that would use the festive ones to match that season. But yeah, it's Kiki and Layla one. It's just not going to use another one. I probably should start getting rid of them.
You reminded me when you said about villagers getting in the way. I felt really cruel this week when I was terraforming and I was knocking down this river and I was working my way down and Cherry was fishing in it. And I was like, oh, I could stop and let her carry on fishing. And I felt really cruel, but I also really wanted to see what happened. So I felt bad as I was doing it, but I just knocked the river away while she was stood there fishing in it. Poor thing.
Poor Cherry, what did they do? What did she do?
She just put her fishing rod away and just sat down on the floor. I felt awful, but it was quite funny.
That's horrible. How could you look?
I don't know.
Poor Cherry.
She'd been so nice to me earlier in the day as well. She was the only one that was like, oh my God, what's happened to your face? Here, you need to have some medicine. And gave me some medicine that she was carrying around. Everyone else was just like, oh, what? You look horrible. But she really helped me out. And then I went and did that to her. I went and planted a few more flowers in her garden to try and make amends.
I think you should have replaced a few fish outside her garden. All the ones she missed. Have you been to Harves this week? I went at the start of the week, but I need to go again. I need to get pictures of my new villagers, but also to enter into the monthly competition or the weekly competition.
I'm definitely going to take Ketchup tomorrow. She needs some new clothes. I wasn't really that big a fan of what she was wearing when I met her today.
I've not seen. I don't know what her outfit is in. I've seen people put out like the little hot dog costume on them. I think it's so cute.
It does look really cute. I'm not sure that I could subject her to that.
Just at Harves.
Yeah, I'll try it. But no, tell me about what you're going to do at Harves. Last week you did the Gothic Don't Tell the Bride.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Cyrus had arranged some kind of awful wedding for poor Reese.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a theme this week for the competition. Was Gothic, which was quite nice because Reese, all she asked for is pink and white.
Yeah.
And it was nice to try and, because there's not a lot of wedding items you could have used to, like, for Gothic because they're so light. And so it was nice to use look through the catalogue and see what other furniture that you can use.
Yeah.
Although it was, I quite liked doing it up, but I just know Reese wouldn't have liked it, so I came up with the idea of like Don't Tell the Bride, because that's just like these horror stories, and that programme always just seems to be the opposite of what the wife to be would want. I think a gothic theme wedding would be the last thing Reese would want.
Definitely. Is that the idea of that show then, that the spouse plans the wedding behind the bride's back?
Yeah, so they'll get X amount of money to do it. And
okay,
I've only seen, I don't think I've ever watched it, but I think I've only ever seen like, you know, the clips that are on Facebook or social media, because they're like outrageous. And it's like they've spent 90% of the budget on the stag do, and then it's like just this cheap wedding.
So what's your idea for this week's theme, which is destination wedding?
I'm not sure, actually. It would have to be a beach. I think I'm going to go for a beach just because it's coming into the summer.
You've got Audie and Plucky to inspire you. You've got
Definitely.
2 beachy villages. I don't know what I'm going to do for this week's wedding competition. I'm not a big wedding person. I don't know if you've been able to tell by the theme of my entries.
Your last one was a bit...
My first thought was Antarctica, an ice wedding.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be different.
I did think beach wedding as well. The thing is, everybody has such amazing ideas, and when I see them, I'm just blown away by how great they are. So I feel like I should have been getting in there first, setting a nice low bar for everybody, and then not having as much pressure on myself.
That's not true at all.
It takes the pressure off, though, if you get yours in first, you know?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's been so fun doing it, though. I really enjoyed it.
So what about your villagers, apart from your new addition coming tomorrow?
Oh, they're all lovely, thanks. Yeah, they're really good. We had a lovely KK concert last week. I just ran past and there were like 4 of them sitting there. I just thought, it's perfect. Perfect timing. So I sat down with them, and I think it was Lolly, Poppy, Shari and Megan were all sitting there waiting. So we let KK pick the song, and we all had a little dance. And I made a good discovery last weekend during KK, that if you put the camera in just the right place during the day, the in-game music stops and you can hear him really clearly.
All right.
So I found a nice little spot to sit down on the plaza just in front of him, put the camera in the right place, and you can get like a little acoustic show, and he goes through loads and loads of songs. I was sat there for ages. Well, I think I left my Switch on with the sound on because it was so nice, and just had him playing his little acoustic songs and whistling along. It was really cool. So you should give that a try on Saturday.
I'm going to need to try that.
On Sunday, I should say.
Oh, it'll be Sunday.
Bug off this Saturday.
Bug off, yeah. And hopefully I'm going to host something, so hopefully I'll get some few people over to do the bug off. I've not done one in so long.
That'd be lovely.
I think I only done one last year.
I've still got some stamps to do, but I think I've got this stamp for the spring one.
Oh yeah,
summer one.
It's the next one I've not got, so I'm going to need to make sure I need to do all of them this time.
Yeah, and apart from that, I think it's just been the usual. Apple's been doing her Zoomies. Lolly and Poppy and Megan have all been reading. In fact, Poppy and Lolly were having a chat about their ideal place to read a book. And they decided they wanted to start a book club under the stars. They have a lantern lit book club under the stars. And I think that some of yours have said that in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, I can't remember if that's what the description was, but definitely book clubs.
And it just made me think it would be really nice if I had a little lantern lit book spot for those two. Well, maybe I'll set a place for 3 actually, because Megan's into reading as well. My 3 sweets. In fact, Lolly and Megan were reading the same book this week. What's it called? Hello, Tomorrow Me. So it sounds like a really terrible self-help book.
Yeah,
I have been trying to compile like a list of every book that Lolly has read since she's been with me. I think I've got screenshots of every time she's told me about a book that she's reading. But Megan was saying Hello, Tomorrow Me. And then a day or 2 later, Lolly was saying that she dropped it and lost her place. But I guess they must be passing it around, lending each other books.
Or they're reading it at book club. Maybe they've already got their secret book club.
Yeah. Although, Poppy was reading a different book this week, actually, which was quite worrying. She was reading Dr. Shrunk Explains It All.
That's an interesting book. I wish he would come back in the game.
You want him back as well?
Yeah, I know there's not a lot of people that like him, but I thought he was good. I liked it.
He was... Yeah, I can't say I'm not fussed about having him back in, but I do love the fact that, you know, everybody loves different characters in this game. It's such a great part of it. Everybody's lovable to somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not accusing you of loving Dr. Shrunk, but
yeah, I don't mind. The same. I think he's the same with Captain as well. Like, there's people that don't like him at all, or they do like him.
Yeah, it's lovely that everyone's tastes are different and everybody likes different people. That is one of the things that has inspired our new mini podcast, our little sister podcast, Island Hop. We want to try and find like a different person for every villager in the game who loves that villager the most. I thought it was a really cute idea that out there somewhere is like a person for every villager, even the ones that get a hard time.
Yeah, it's great. I'm sure there is going to be. We'll find them, all of them.
We'll find a person for every villager. A villager for every person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really loved starting the first episode with Biscuit, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to do one on Tabby.
Yes, definitely. I loved hearing yours. It was so nice.
Tabby's your favourite, right?
Tabby is my favourite so far. There's so many that I've not met yet, so it might change, but right now Tabby's my favourite.
Although I've heard you talk about Roald in the past.
Yeah, I think Roald was my first ever like villager in Wild World, and I've just... And he's a jock, so it's probably not going to be my best match, but I just remember wanting him always, and he's just so cute looking.
Well, I think it's totally fine to have more than one favourite. I think it's healthy to have many favourites, and we'll probably end up recording more than one episode each about different villages. But we're going to start taking submissions, and if any of our listeners are interested in telling us a bit about their favourite villages, then just get in contact. All the details are on our website anyway, so...
Yeah, I can't wait to hear everyone's favourite animals.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming, Luke.
Yeah, it's been fun catching up. And it's been amazing seeing all your changes. I loved having a look around. I might have another little wander after we finish today. Not to steal any ideas or anything, but just to admire. Also, there's a few people I haven't said hello to yet today.
I know none of them are in their houses, they're all wandering about.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Like I say, check out our new podcast on our website, and also come and chat with us on our socials. Come and say hi on Discord. You can support the podcast on Patreon, and Sandi and I will get together again at Re Albi next time. And hopefully by then I'll have started work on the east side of my island as well. So I'll have something to show you.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Na kwe o kwe o mi kwe kwe o mi o na o mi o kwe kwe na o mi kwe o mi na kwe mi na o mi na mi kwe mi o o o